just wanna be heard for your mom to your pop to the beat to the birds. My cut right off on the curb like I'm Barry Sanders. Chains on and the diamonds dancing. Game on, so it's time to go. When the rain starts, I'ma let you know. Name a squad that is better though than my home team. We a pot of gold. I'm a dog. I'ma need a bone for my whole team. I'ma let it go like yeah, and it feel like yeah, all day like yeah, all night like yeah, whole squad like what, and it feel like yeah, all day like yeah, all night like what, whole squad like yeah, and it feel like yeah, all day like yeah, all night like yeah, whole squad like yeah, and it feel like yeah, all day like yeah, all night like yeah.
All right, Coach. First opened back in 2008. There's a look at Lucas Oil Stadium here in downtown Indy. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Cleveland Browns and the Indianapolis Colts. Here we go. The final week of the NFL season. Week 17 is underway. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. On 1st and 10, Mayfield. And he's got his man on the crossing route. That's Landry. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
And that Browns first down.
The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. There's Hilliard. And he works his way forward for about 4 up to the midfield stripe.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
First down, Browns.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Mayfield. And he's got the hook up to Landry. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. 25 yards that time.
His passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage. But now, in this situation, the field is really condensed, partner. So if he's going to throw the football, it has to be pinpoint here.
I was going to ask you about that. Field shrinks, has to be sharper, but it's been a good opening drive so far.
Now they just want to see if they can cap it off with the bell ringer and put it in the end zone.
Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. A great play there with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Browns take it right down the field and score on the opening drive. Austin Seibert on for the extra point. It's up and through to make it 7-0 Browns.
Makes the score 7-0.
set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line.
Let's go, D. Big series right here. We got to step it up. Check it backer, check it backer. Match box. Right. Echo.
First down, Brissett. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Mack Wilson. He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. They'll run it here. This is Marlon Mack. And he'll get this one up to about his 14.
That's it, baby.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Big stop, D. Big stop. Let's go. Check nickel.
It's 3rd and long for Brissett. Looking deep downfield. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. That's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down. To punt on 4th down, here's Rigoberto Sanchez. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Browns will take over, 1st and 10. The Browns drive about to get started. We do know that they are postseason bound, but they're leaking a little oil, so to speak, as they kind of limp into January.
Yeah, and that oil can set fire to their season.
That's caught inside the 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Odell Beckham becoming just the 2nd player with 30 touchdowns in a single year. And the Browns were able to strike quickly for 6. Extra point by Seibert, up and good, and it's now 14-0.
14, Colts, nothing.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. On 2nd and 7, Brissett nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Check.
He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
To throw, Brissett. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that is incomplete. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
And this will be touched by a member of the kicking team inside the 20, and it's at the 17-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. And last time the formula was pretty simple. 1-play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, man.
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, 1-play drive's exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was really easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
And we'll see if it's that easy here. A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. The Pro Bowler Odell Beckham, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd down.
But one thing's for sure, when you get a big receiver and you trust him downfield, you got to give him opportunities to go up and get that 50-50 ball.
And he is a darn good big receiver. Unfortunately, that time didn't work out. Nice job defensively. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Operating from the gun, Bryant. Going to be brought down back at his own 6-yard line. And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. They'll break the huddle here and go for it. This is 4th down.
58 to Mike, 58.
They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. He's going to rifle one deep left side. Oh, a ball batted in the air. Now it's intercepted. Picked by Kendall Fuller. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line. When the rookie QB gets his first touchdown pass, that's one you put in the trophy case. First career interception, that's going to be one he wants to forget.
Yeah, and he's not going to go ask for the football, right? Yeah, you can keep that one. The key for him, what does he learn from it? When he watches the tape, does he have an answer right now where he already understands what mistake he made? That's what the coach...
And it's intercepted at the goal line. Greedy Williams picks it off. And a great return as he takes us up just shy of the 45.
Well, if you go by the numbers, you'll find as the temperature goes down, so does the passing efficiency. And now that we're in December, even the routine throws are going to be harder for the quarterbacks. And this one, it winds up getting picked off.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 44. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And the defense loses him. It's complete. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Odell Beckham ties LT with his 31st touchdown of the year. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. Extra point by Seibert up and good. And that makes the score 21-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line.
At their own 22-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
On second down, it's Mack. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and just like that, it's third down.
Ready. 53, Mike. Bring it.
From the gun, here's Brissett. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble.
Well, that was a big oops right there. But how about his ability to correct it? Loses the football, able to get it back himself.
Yeah, pounced right back on it, keeps possession.
The Browns take over.
We got this.
At their own 17-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought
Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now second down and 22 yards to go. From deep in their own territory, they look to throw. Now the ball comes loose, and the Colts pick it, and the ball is knocked out. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20. So the turnover forced, and a wonderful job on a big return.
And how about the convoy that got created to help him get all the way back upfield? I mean, that's the part that people miss on. That's practice. That's worked on. It doesn't just happen in a game and everyone rallies. They discuss it prior to, and everyone knows their role when they create a turnover like that.
They'll run on first down with Marlon Mack. And he'll get 7 yards from the 17 to the 10 before he's taken down. On second down, here's a run with Mack. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4.
A gain of 6. Tim Williams on the stop. First and goal at the 4-yard line.
They'll run here with Mack. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football.
Let's go, D.
A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. They come out here in the I.
Mike. Hey, watch the slant. Watch the slant.
They'll try and run. Here's Mack. Let's think here. You're still just in the second quarter. You taking the 3 points?
I am taking the 3 points, and I'm just relying on my defense here. Show me I have a little confidence in them, and letting the offense know, nice drive. Come back next time. We'll go get 6 then, but for now, we'll take the 3.
And the 13-year man puts it through, and the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18. So they do get the 3 points before they hit halftime, something to build on maybe.
Yeah, go ahead and raise the banner, right? Wave the flag. That's good. Got points, and now, as you said, they've got something to build on as they get ready for the second half.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a good effort on the return there. Gets them across the 30 to the 33-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. And now consider the lead. The question is, how much is good enough? Are you going for more?
It's the NFL.
The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long. Back to throw. Bryant. It's caught by OBJ. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a third down. From the gun on third down. Bryant, the open man is Shark. It's complete. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
On first and 10, Bryant, he's going to fire one deep over the middle, and he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. DJ Chark, the intended target, but it'll be second down. So after the incompletion on first, now second and 10. Throwing again, Bryant. That one complete. He finds Sharp, and they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. So here's a first and 10 at the 38.
Tight down. There you go.
From the gun, Bryant. He's got a man wide open. It's Landry. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So now then the penalty's got him set up with a first and goal. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run pass option. And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. DJ Chark in the final seconds of the first half. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And the route is on here in this first half. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. That's number 4. Sack number 4. They had 4 last week, so he's been down on the ground a lot.
Partner, they say the eye in the sky does not lie. And that's indeed the case because they watched the game tape from the previous week, incorporated it into their own defensive scheme, and continued to get after this quarterback.
And now this defense will be searching for sack number 5.
Check. 53's Mike. Check. 53's Mike.
Throwing on second and long. Reset. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man. And you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Reset from the gun on third. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete.
Well, we're into the second half now. This is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. And he'll get credit for a punt inside the 20, not by much, but inside the 20 at the 19-yard line.
At their own 19-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen.
And that's caught inside the 30. And he takes it all the way down to the 28-yard line. They'll run on first down. Hilliard and an alley to run. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first.
Well, think of it like you would a typical boxing match. The person is on his heels and absorbing blows is having a tough time. And that's what's happening to the defense right now because the offense is on his toes and punching. And there was another first down run right there.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Now a give, right side. Hilliard. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up third down. First and second down were a disaster. Both went backwards. Now it's 3rd and 18. They need something big. And this is caught for a Browns touchdown by Landry. Jarvis Landry. His 11th touchdown of the year as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Extra point by Seibert up and good, and the lead will swell by 1 more. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line.
At their own 24-yard line.
Ready?
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
I got you. I got you.
Boy, and now they can't even get a play off. He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run and just lost track, and it cost him.
They go right back to Mack, and they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. He'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Brissett sets to throw it. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. They give him a gain of 37. On 1st down, Mack. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
1 quarter remains here as the regular season starts to wind down. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Check 53. Okay, double up. Slam. Go. Slam.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Brissett. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Let's go. Hey, number 53, Mike 53. Hey, man. Watch the quarterback.
Now Brissett on 4th down. He's going to air one out. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. The Colts unable to convert here on 4th down. And this Browns defense stands tall. The Browns drive about to get started. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table.
And he does take it in for the touchdown, but a flag on the field, and I don't think this is going to stand.
Yeah, don't put the points on the board just yet.
That'll go down as a loss of 8.
Right there. It's our time.
Looking to throw. Bryant. He's going to rifle one deep left side. That's caught inside the 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. DJ Chark with touchdown number 29. Too short of LaDainian Tomlinson's all-time record 31. As his guys continue to pour it on. Extra point by Seibert up and good. And that will extend this big lead. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll probably wish he'd reconsidered here. It will cost him 10 yards as he's down at the 15.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Brissett on first down. He's going to float this over the middle, deep. He's got a man, complete. The 20, 10, and he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. A big play there. 85 yards. And the Colts gain a bit of respectability. Crosby with the extra point as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
Throwing on first down. Bryant. He finds his target, Beckham. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Just what the Browns needed there. Good for a gain of 17.
And the Browns first down.
Off play action. Bryant. It's caught. Beckham. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. The catch and run, good for 24 yards. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Back to throw. Bryant going right back to Beckham here, complete. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Bryant. That is caught at the 7. And he's brought down. It's a pickup of 12. Second play in a row with a 12-yard gain. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. With the passing game as he looks to throw. And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. Odell Beckham standing alone with a new NFL record 32nd touchdown as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Extra point by Seibert up and good, and the lead will swell by 1 more. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Brissett. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down. The Colts on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. From the shotgun, it's Brissett. He's going to sling this deep down, and this is going to be intercepted. Picked off at the 25. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. Well, when you start thinking of guys that are in the mix for Defensive Player of the Year, I think you use him as Exhibit A. Maybe he's not the leading guy right now, but he's at least on the periphery and deserves to be in the discussion.
And because of that, he's looking at a game today where in order to make that big move and maybe become the guy, he needs multiple takeaways, multiple big plays, things that get our attention and reverberate for weeks to come.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Malik Hooker. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. Defensively that time, they were in zone coverage. As a rookie QB, what lesson can you learn there?
Well, understand this. You saw zone in college, and the defensive backs reacted, but they don't react like they do on this level. So when they're in zone and they see the ball coming to them, they'll react at least a half a second faster. You've got to know where you want to go with the ball and be decisive with it. Otherwise, the end result can be something you don't like.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. They're looking at second down now as they search for a consolation score. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. And the trend continues here in the fourth like it was in the first, second, and third. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. The bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handling it.
And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Greedy Williams picks it off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Browns drive about to get started. And checking the timeouts. They do have two defensively, but no real need to use them as they're not going to be able to stop the clock after that. And now the throw taken in by Chark. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to him. Just what the Browns needed there. Good for a gain of 17. That one looks like he'll throw here. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. That one goes for 30 yards. So the line of scrimmage all the way up to midfield now as they've got it 1st and 10. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And nearly picked off there. Almost intercepted. Instead, second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, he's got a couple more downs to play with.
Eluding the pressure right. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10.
50's the mic. 50's the mic.
Operating from the gun, Bryant. And this one into the hands of DJ Chark. That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Let him know, let him know.
From the gun, Bryant rolling to his right. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by Rakiasin. Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ball game.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, and became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning. Threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record. How'd things turn out for him?
I think okay. He's a guy in all the commercials now, right?
Yeah, I think he's doing okay.
They'll start on the ground with Mack. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a second.